But this is a rather domestic image of the Clinton family enjoying Thanksgiving there. But I think Bill Clinton, in his association with Camp David, is most often remembered for his Mideast summit. And this was his attempt to build upon both the success and the failures of what Jimmy Carter had done in 1978. So he met there with Yasser Arafat, who previously been the PLO leader, is now called the Palestinian Authority, and Ehud Barak, who was the Israeli Prime Minister. And there were a lot of the same issues that they were talking about 22 years earlier that were coming up again. The West Bank and the Gaza Strip, what to do about Jerusalem and the Temple Mount, Palestinian refugees, Israeli security concerns, and ultimately they came to an impasse on virtually all of the issues. And despite what seems to be a very conciliatory atmosphere among the participants here, ultimately it really collapsed because of a lack of an ability for everyone to reach consensus. I think that's when you think of Bill Clinton and Camp David, I think his failed Mideast summit, but the attempt that he made in July of 2000 are among the most memorable. Again, I think he's on course to break Ronald Reagan's record for most uses of it. I'm guessing right now, just doing some extrapolation, about 150 visits, totaling over 500 days at this point. So he does, I would say generally, if he is not at the ranch in Texas or he's not out of the country, he's at Camp David on the weekends, and I know that because they fly over my house on the way there. So Friday afternoon, 2 o'clock, they're up there, or 4 o'clock, and 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, they're
in the papers, they don't say he's up there.
Yeah, well, one of the ways you can always find out when they say there are road closures in Catoctin Mountain Park, you can put two and two together. So I think it's not being held as a big secret. But I think he is someone who has very much like Nixon used it both as a private retreat and a place of security and comfort, but also knows how to use it to entertain foreign leaders. Here he is with Russian President Putin in September of 2003. And one of the things that I like about this, it gives you a little bit of an interior view of this is probably the Aspen Lodge at Camp David. But look at this awful furniture. I think it's still the stuff from the attic at the White House. You just get a sense of really how rustic it is. I think this is just me personally, but I think it's funny when political leaders want to look relaxed, they take their tie off and they just open their collars. But that was in September of 2003. And there's a communication building and shops and all of that. So it's been. Oh, and I note also this is the perimeter fence. Okay, so don't wander off the trail up in the park. But it is a history that's still being written, and so, you know, I don't know the answer to that right off the top of my head. I couldn't even venture a guess. But it is a history that's still in the making. You see some of the some of the events that we've talked about, and so I guess the question is, who's going to be next? Is it going to be McCain, Obama, Nader? It's anyone's guess, but I think it is. It's an important part of our history here in Frederick County. I think it will continue to be an important part of our history into the future as well. So it's been my pleasure to share this information with you. I hope it's new information, some of it, or I hope you enjoyed the presentation. If it wasn't new information, any questions? Yeah.
In Camp David, I've heard they take them over to Hagerstown.
Well, if there is inclement weather, and I think that's primarily when there's fog, high winds, things like that. They don't want to try to land it in the trees. But yeah, this is the helicopter pad right down here. And typically, it depends on the president. I think Carter used to always walk it because you're getting the main lodge is Aspen down here. So he would just get out and he'd walk.
And they're just getting set up here. You can see they're going to have a multimedia setup. And this gives you an idea of the quality of the presentations they have here at the Thurmont Library.